Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And here we are on Vancouver Island. We've had 2 months of drought. Probably the worst drought we've had in recorded history for the last couple of months, and it finally is raining. Now we have fires on the island. We've got a couple of serious fires, one really serious fire, so we need the rain. Anyways, what am I going to review tonight? This is a distillery that I really wanted to visit when we went to Scotland. In fact, the whole group I was with, we wanted to visit, but we ran into, it was a time element, some complications, and getting across the Irish Sea. And getting to this distillery, it was definitely in our plans, but getting to it it got difficult. So unfortunately, we're going to have to make another attempt at it. So this is a whiskey that when I was younger, I drank it with my buddies. It was the first Irish whiskey I was ever introduced to, and I was always fond of it, though I really believe that this whiskey is probably going to be a big improvement over the old White Bush. So 16-year-old, just finished watching a video with Colin Egan. He's the master distiller for Bushmills. And he describes it as a minimum of 16 years it's been aged in Oloroso, and that's Oloroso butts, sherry butts, and bourbon barrels. But he says another year in port pipes. Anyways, is it a 16 or 17-year-old whiskey? I don't know how important that is, but what's important is when we review it, what do we think of it? So take a look at it. Typical of Bushmills whiskeys, and I've reviewed the 10 and the 12, and of course Black Bush, and I don't know if I've done the White Bush. I don't think I have, but we drank enough of it. This guy here is 40%. He is, I'm going to say, chill filtered. And the way Colin Egan was describing it in the video, it's getting a lot of color from those casks. How much coloring is added? I don't know. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that. And I think we'll have to bring that bottle up. Let's bring the box and the bottle up so you can take a peek at them. So there's the bottle. And there's your box. And by the way, you can see it's a pretty solid box. So I think we're going to get into this right away. I'm going to get that cork off. So let me grab my knife here. Okay. Do the honors. Okay, that was a good one. And that cork's in good shape. Excellent shape. That is what you want for a cork. You know, it looks new and there's no cracks in it. And it was on there. Okay, let's give the Bushmills a pour. And we will let you take a peek. So as I mentioned, Colin Egan, Bushmills Master Distiller, in his video, he said a lot of this color comes from the casks, the sherry butts, the Oloroso sherry butts, and of course the bourbon barrels, and then finished in the port pipe. How much color was added? I'm going to leave that one up to you. So we're going to get right into this guy. And we're going to start off with the nose. Oh yes. That is a pronounced nose. Sherry. And it's got a richness to it. And it's certainly is not the nose of what you would call a 40% whiskey. This is more like a 46% whiskey. It has a lot of fruit going on right now, the darker fruits. And I'm even getting a bit of treacle caramel there, maybe some chocolate notes. And obviously like a lavender note there. Oh boy, it's just so rich. You know, for 40%, I'm impressed. That's a good start. That's what I'm going to say, a very good start. Let's do the palate. Cilantro. Definitely go right back to the sherry and the chocolate. There's some coffee notes, cinnamon, definitely some spices, allspice, maybe some nutmeg going on here, white pepper. Back to the coffee notes. Yeah, like a mocha, like a mix of chocolate and coffee. Fading in the background, a little bit of tobacco, and some bit of caramel, a little bit of toffee. Coating the tongue, 40% whiskey that is coating my tongue. One of the things I think is important, because the last Irish whiskey that I reviewed was the Irishman. I think it was cask strength. I don't follow up, when I'm doing 40%, I don't follow up right away with a 40 after doing a cask strength. It's just foolish. Why do I do 40s, and why do I favor some 40s? Because there's times I like to drink a 40. I don't always drink cask strength. I have a really good collection of cask strength. I've been drinking cask strengths for years, and I understand the market. There's times when a 40 is nice, especially in the summer. So far, we've got a lot going on here with this 40% Bushmills. So let's go for the development and the finish. Cilantro. I'm getting a little bit more of the cinnamon and the ginger there, but a bit of orange coming on now. So I'm going to say nectarines with that chocolate. The chocolate was sort of more of a milk chocolate starting off, and now it's getting to be a little bit darker. I've got still a coating on my tongue. It's got a decent finish for 40%. I'm actually quite impressed, because I wasn't expecting this long a finish with a 40. But got some, it's like, there's orange there. There's a little bit of banana going on. Maybe even some pear. I'm tasting fruit with the spicy fruit. Let's add a drop of water and see what happens. You're probably thinking, is that a good idea? Well, let's find out. We're gonna throw some water in this and see what happens. 2 drops. Let's see what 2 drops does. The old swirl. got a little bit of amplification of that sherry there. And we're getting some toffee. Yeah, maybe a little bit of lemon meringue, orange lemon meringue. Yeah. Cilantro. Didn't hurt it, that's for sure. I'm almost going back to the milk chocolate though. The milk chocolate mocha. The tobacco's disappeared. Wee bit of the coffee still there. I'm going to say with the mocha. I think it's more of a mocha. It's got this richness to, almost a silkiness to it right now when I added the 2 drops of water there. Still coating my tongue. And you know, if I was to describe this, I think it would be an ongoing thing because it does have layers. I'm getting different things going on as I'm talking to you. That berries, maybe a little bit of raspberry, blackberry. The real dark fruit has kind of disappeared, but now I'm getting a little more of the tart, the fresh berries. If you went out and you were picking, let's say, blackberries or raspberries, but there's some Macintosh toffee. We're getting that sweet, but we're still getting the tartness. So we're getting the sweet and the sour, and there's a little bit of saltiness to it. But and of course the treacle. This is at 40% is a pretty presentable drink. They've done a good job on this. I haven't even talked about the port yet, but I think the sweetness and the berries that we're getting, as you know, toward the end here, I think that's the port. So what can I say about this whiskey? It's 40%. It doesn't taste like a 40%. It doesn't come on like a 40% whiskey. I would think it to be at least a 43. And I feel that what I paid for it, you know, $135 here in Canada, is good value for a 16-year-old whiskey that has, you know, good flavor profile, lots of layers. It is basically it is impressing me more than a lot of 43s that I've reviewed, and you know, I'm talking 16 and 18-year-olds. I think that it's going to be a situation when you buy a 40, you have to give it the opportunity. Don't prejudge it. If you don't want to have a 40, then don't buy it. You know, it doesn't make sense to go and grab a whiskey and then be critical of it, knowing that you're not going to enjoy a 40. This one I enjoy. So on that note, I'm gonna say it's somewhere around an 85, 86 in my territory. That's it. So I do recommend it. Again, if you can get it at the price I got it, and I'm talking 135 Canadian. So on that note, I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, Salanjiva.